the literature and the discussions that have been made around Bitcoin and Ethereum are in a foreign language. So it's a little bit different from China, which, the core of that crypto base are miners, right? Which got it very early, so they understand why Bitcoin is powerful, why Ethereum is powerful, why some altcoins are powerful. But if you look at the top charts on Upbit, it's actually not like, Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Luna that's, that is the highest in volume. On any given day on Upbit, usually, especially if the markets are bullish, you would have like this green shitcoin that you've never heard of. It could be actually like okay, this is hilarious. So one of the Korean projects was called 7 Ships or something like that. And the reason why it was called 7 Ships was that there was a famous Korean general back in like the 1400s or something that defeated an armada of Japanese invaders with just 7 ships. And the idea was that in this day and age where there's hundreds of foreign crypto projects that are outlining the front page of Upbit, we are going to be like that, like freedom fighter general that fought back all the foreign invaders. And that they pumped. Like there were billions of dollars in trading volume for 7 ships at one point. And if you look at what the project actually does, it's hilarious. So they create these cooling machines that look like the ships that the general used back in the day. And then they plant this very special type of flower that only grows in Jeju Island. And the idea is that you would use the heat that is coming from Bitcoin miners and use that to fuel this little like flower thing, which can only grow in tropical climates. Right? So that's like mind-blowingly stupid, but that just did incredibly well.
Oh my God. Oh no. I hope a lot of people I guess a lot of people probably lost money on that.
Everybody lost money.
Oh no. Oh boy. I'm surprised that Koreans are still so enthusiastic after something like that.
Well, so the reason why crypto is so popular in Korea is because the other investable asset classes are so heavily regulated. For example, if you look at real estate, they've started to cut down on the ability for people to take out loans to purchase houses because they want to keep the price of housing low. But what that also means is that it creates a massive entry barrier for people that want to buy houses, because unless you have the ability to drop like $1 million in a house, you can't buy it, right? And then if you look at the stock market, the only thing worth buying is Samsung, right? And for all the other stuff, it's like, yeah, I mean, like you understand, like stock markets are just not as attractive in lots of other markets outside the United States. So you can invest in something, but generally it doesn't go up like what the S&P 500 goes up. And if you are making a strong directional bet, 33% of the stock market is basically Samsung. So you're betting all your eggs on just one company, which is very risky. So crypto being, not having those, like regulatory safeguards, and, people haven't stepped in yet to try to curb in this industry. And in some sense, it's like fundamentally very difficult to do. Like you can't try to regulate Bitcoin, for instance, or try to make Bitcoin less successful just from the perspective of one smaller nation state. So, which is why a lot of people got very excited about the asset class and started to ape in at scale. And there's definitely some downsides of this. So like the 7 ship story and several different, horror stories are just indicative of speculative fervor that isn't really being shaped by, genuine interest in the asset class. It's more of, lack of interesting alternatives to invest in.
Yeah, or some kind of desire to get rich quick, or like treat it more like gambling. But then, so to go back to the earlier question about, well, in the US, where is, most of my audience is based, will know, obviously you have had run-ins with regulators here in the US, the SEC. But, Korea kind of has like gone back and forth in terms of how welcoming the regulation has been to crypto. So kind of what's your sense of like how this new president might affect the market there?
So I think it's going to be a super positive development. And especially because the last administration, which was a little bit more analogous to the Democratic Party in the US, there were a lot of ire from, as I said previously, a significant chunk of the population. So this incoming president ran on a platform to counter everything that the previous administration did. And one of the ways in which he did that was to cater to a very crypto-specific platform. So that essentially boils down to, 3 large promises. Number one, to deregulate crypto exchanges. This is going to be massive. Not all positive, but it's going to be massive in the sense that lots of things that crypto exchanges weren't able to do before. So for example, like besides Upbit, it hasn't been possible to sign up for a fiat on-ramp account on any of the other major exchanges for the last 2 years,
Oh
right?
my
Which is
God.
why Upbit is dominant. And even for Upbit, they need to use this tiny savings bank that nobody used to use before Upbit used to integrate. So the user experience of getting money into crypto is terrible. Now, it's crazy that so many people are trading crypto despite of all of this, right? Yeah, so crypto exchanges are going to be deregulated. Number two, he said he's going to allow people to do ICOs. I have mixed feelings about this, but at the same time, it's probably not bearish for things that are going on in crypto. Number three, to delay crypto taxes for at least another year. So at least 2 years off from now.
Yeah. Well, so when will this new president be inaugurated?
It's just a couple months away. So yeah, he's actually like taken over a bunch of duties, like for example, like moving presidential offices.
Okay. So, but you're not thinking of moving back for the reasons that you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, I still fly back quite often, and I think I'll be in Korea a lot of the time. But I think my family, I think I want to keep here.
All right. Well, is there anything I didn't ask you about since, you said that you kind of wanted to give your own thoughts on certain things? Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you wanted to mention for my listeners?
No, this was great. It was very fun. Thanks for putting this together.
Oh, yeah. No, I really enjoyed it too. I'm really glad that we did the improv section of the interview. That was super fun. All right. Well, thank you.